I have heard everyone else.
Yeah, but you have to do the roll call.
Kira,
Hi.
Amy,
You.
No, hello, Kira.
Zell,
I'm Vel.
Z.
Hi.
There we go. Perfect.
I just wanted to
Efficient roll
participate
call.
in a friendly tradition, and I'm catching a stray.
I think I know what kind of session we're gonna have.
I don't know. The energy is.
Are we having a session?
We fucking better. Y'all are in the same place, and it is Wednesday night.
This is Joe getting offended at the idea that he loses his Wednesday.
I want my Wednesday RP time.
All
We're
right.
going to get it.
I'll lower the energy and head out. Enjoy your game, friends.
Good night, Matt.
Oh,
Good night, man.
Well,
Good night.
So,
Okay.
now
You want to recap?
recap. We can recap.
I will bravely volunteer.
I was
for
gonna
the
say
task.
I can't do it because I wasn't there.
I can do it because
Thank
I
you,
took
Zell.
the notes this time.
Hell yeah, based Zell.
it was me. I took the notes.
All right, so we started off last session on a pretty heavy note. The party had just finished their encounter with the ghouls that nearly tore Aang asunder, and decidedly left her alone because she didn't taste good. We had one ghoul left alive, if you could really even call him that. And it turns out that they're sentient and very intelligent, as a matter of fact. So our last ghoul we interrogated. Willow did. And a little bit of Maddie. It did also. And his name was Isaac. He was a scientist. They were all scientists. And effectively, we found out that a long time ago, in the distant year of, I think I wrote 1874. Let me check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That was confirmation. So a long time ago, he and his colleagues were down here in their pre-ghoul days, and they made a lot of discoveries. They discovered radium.
Yes.
Yeah, they were researching it. They found out how dangerous it was. And it seems he did a lot of talking about them, the scientists, running into something down below. It sounded like it was themselves? Their other selves? Yeah, apparently, let's see. They killed many of us, but we fought them and killed them in return. They found some horrific knowledge that, made them enter a vow of silence, but, rather than going back and living in society with this knowledge, all the scientists stayed down here to, hold each other accountable for not, leaking this information.
They couldn't let the idea and knowledge about radium out because it could be used for war. That's what he was concerned about.
Yes. Very, very good, succinct way of putting that, yeah. Yeah, so they've been having a pretty bad food situation, as you might conclude. So their fate was kind of inevitable. We asked Isaac at the end of this interrogation if, like, what he would like to have happen now, because now all of his colleagues are dead. And now we kind of have the burden of this information. Like, not necessarily everything that they knew, but, like, now we know that there is a threat of, you know, information to be learned that did this to them.
Mm-hmm.
So Isaac says all his colleagues are dead, so he would also like to die. So we grant him that, and yeah, Maddie takes it upon herself to execute him, and Abigail takes that pretty hard, having to watch this. This is pretty pretty heavy. Yeah, so we discussed with each other what to do at that point, and we kind of agreed, let's get out of here. We're gonna drop off Lorelai, get Abigail somewhere safe. Let's see. I actually wrote our plan. Our plan is to head to Mercott, look for a safe place to let Abigail stay. Possibly Hawk's cabin if Mercott doesn't work out, because we want to reunite with Hawk also.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come back and investigate the dungeon with horrific knowledge looming ahead.
With the
Mhm.
only swap to that is we have to go to Hawk's cabin first because that's on the way.
Okay.
So we'll theoretically pick up Hawk first, and maybe just leave Abigail there,
Yeah.
depending on what's going on.
Yeah. So
Okay.
some other stuff that happened on the way. We said goodbye to Lorelai. She went off with Eden. That was a sweet goodbye. We traveled for a bit, set up
gets
camp in
haunted.
the woods. What's up?
Aang gets haunted.
Yes. Aang took watch for the night after we all had a delicious stew and bonding moment, and talked about the people that would come looking for us, theoretically. And we all enjoyed the rabbit stew largely because Amy wasn't there to tell us Paige hated it.
We hate for you to find out this way, Paige.
Oh my god, is that what was in the stew?
I actually imagine that Aang made, because she knows that Paige dislikes eating rabbits, she made Paige rarebit instead.
Rarebit?
Yeah, Welsh rarebit. It's like an iconic dish of the Welsh. It's toast with a cheese bechamel over it.
Oh,
And some
Wow.
Lovely.
eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That's nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, but we did kind of end the session. Oh, Willow was helping Abigail train her magic and noticed some weird stuff about it. Largely that her magic lingers on things, whereas, Willow might linger for a bit sometimes, but is usually just kind of, one and done. Abigail's magic lingers. I think the word, it's like traceable, was thrown around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, so then Aang took watch for the night and was haunted.
Mhm.
There was familiar giggling from shadowy figure skipping in the woods. And Aang did the right thing and went to Willow for help in the morning. So they said they would keep an eye on it. The only thing that Willow could notice was that Aang's skin felt slightly denser. There does appear to have been from eating Dee Dee. And that's where we ended things.
Willow's
Largely
the monster
last.
doctor.
Yeah. We largely had a lot of really good role playing and character bonding dynamics going on. A lot of sweet stuff with Abigail. The final note is our random encounter rolls. For a 1 on a d20 and a 41 on a d100, and Joe said these are good.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, they're gonna be great. So I believe you guys are hiking down a switchback. You camped out towards the top of it, well away from the ledge, so no worries there. But you are hiking down a switchback that goes over a doozy of a drop, and going back and forth on the switchback. You're starting at the top of the day. It's a pretty arduous hike. It's just a lot of long walks around a long walk down a very narrow path that is cut on the sheer side of a mountain, but you can see over the valleys and through the trees a little bit. And it's just a beautiful, picturesque morning where the fog is laying very heavily in the forest, and it's peaceful. But as you're walking, there's an obvious thing that you can see as you come around one of the turns of the switchback. There is what looks to be like a mouth of a cave nestled in the side of the mountain here, or rather the cliffside. You don't hear any threatening noise coming from it, but there is a mouth of a cave right along the edge of the switchback. To continue down the switchback, you will have to cross in front of the cave.
Joe, am I going to regret asking to scout?
I have a question.
Take
Yes.
Buddy.
What is a switchback?
Switchback?
Yeah.
It is a trail where you walk you walk a long way, and then you take a 270-degree turn and walk back the way you came, but you're going slightly downward.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so you're walking
zigzag on a mountainside.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so you're walking basically back and forth, but it's a couple hundred feet before you hit the turn, and then you switch back. As to answer your question, Kira, yes, you will regret scouting ahead. I foresee in your future a bad stealth roll. Darest you prove me wrong?
It's my job.
Well,
Like a
rather benevolent to announce it, I think.
Assurance stealth is in my future.
You were offered a chance. Do you want a buddy? Do you want a stealth buddy with you?
I think I'm good at stealth. Let me check.
Yeah? We can have a scouting party of 2. It might lower my chances of getting eaten. Again.
Yeah. Where is my stealth? There it is. Oh yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
Alright, Hylas. Buckle up those cowboy boots.
These boots are made for scouting.
I think you probably
Oh god, there's a map.
dutifully- Oh, yay! I think you probably dutifully, like, go to step forward, and, Hylas, just sort of follows after.
I think Aang sees Hylas following, and there's a moment where, because I imagine there's lots of trees around here. There's green, right?
Yeah.
She's standing atop some sort of green thing, and looks. And there's a moment where she's staring at him intensely, as if to ask, "You sure, buddy?"
He just slightly lifts his hat off of his head, like a gesture like, I'm ready to go when you are.
All right. Then Aang will scout ahead with him and
Okay.
collide with a wall, apparently.
Go ahead and roll me your stealth checks. Yes,
Okay.
this is a little rise in the cliffside here.
All right. Fucking.
Right.
There's my skills.
Do
Oh
not
boy.
rope is
Here we
high.
go. Here we
Do not
go.
fail me, buddy.
16? That's good. Hylas is
That's
good.
That's good. That's really good.
17.
17. Okay.
Let's go.
So you all are scouting ahead and clambering over the rock and ledge here. There's a lot more stone because you are kind of walking down the broad side of a cliff, so there's less soil and dirt. But there's enough soil and dirt that you're able to step into little pockets of it, so you're muffling your footsteps quite a bit. Between cloven hoof and cowboy boot, like stepping onto hard rock would make like a very satisfying noise. But you're both very stealthy, and you creep right up to the mouth of the cave, and when you peer into it, you don't see anything immediately, but there's a shuffle in the darkness way in the cave. And that shuffle, like the movement, you see it shift, and the entire dark entrance of the cave that you're looking at shifts with it. Like something really, really big is in the cave.
Aang will. Is Hylas the tallest thing around?
I think so. Not counting a tree.
Contender.
Is who's taller, Aang or Hylas?
Hylas is taller.
Mm-hmm.
Aang will hop onto Hylas's shoulders for better visibility. She will not telegraph that she's doing this. And she will signal down to Maddie one very large thing ahead.
Mm-hmm. Maddie, what do you do?
Point to hammer.
Aang gestures back, like, gonna take another look. But be ready.
She
Hylas
nods
has
and
accepted. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say she nods and gives I assume there's some kind of hunter like sign of be careful or good luck kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a heart hand.
Half word.
You gotta return the half
To make
heart.
the other half, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aang returns the other half of the heart. And then she just hops off Hylas.
There was no protest from him. You probably got a little like whoop out of him, like an absolute resignation.
Okay. Can both of you, if you're trying to get a closer look, can both of you roll me perception checks?
Okay.
I will give you a bonus on this equal to 2 because you did sneak up to get closer to it.
All right.
11, 16.
18. 18 with the 2. I didn't factor that in.
Okay.
Aang was covering my eyes.
Gotcha. Aang shuffled around and got your hair in your eyes.
My hat was
But-
like tipped over my face.
So Aang, you can see pretty far into the cave, and you see this big dark shape that is obscured by the shadow of the cave. As it shuffles around, you can't make it clear, like you can't tell what it is exactly, but you can tell that the shuffling around, this thing is taller than Hylas, taller and wider than Hylas. It is squeezed into that cave. And you notice something that, like, these little patches of dirt that you've partially been walking on, you can see that these patches of dirt go into the cave, like clumps, like big wads of dirt that have fallen and just fallen onto the ground and just left there and kind of sunk into the cracks of the stone here. It's like this thing tracks dirt, like huge chunks of dirt. If you want to get even closer to look at it.
You know I do, Joe.
Okay. You could roll me another stealth check.
Okay.
I know what Maddie's doing to keep the rest of them from just like, let's go check it out.
I listen. I'm not gonna tell you guys to make opposed rolls until you guys want to make opposed rolls.
Okay. I will go ahead and make another stealth check. Sorry, I was just reading what Scout dedication gives me. No, would you say that this is the Scout activity?
Yes, this is very much scouting.
Okay, well then that will factor in later after I bungle whatever I'm about to bungle. I do have a hero point. Do I want to reroll a 13? I want to reroll a 13. 13's not great. It's not terrible though.
Because you're moving closer is the thing.
That's true.
Yeah, and you rolled a 5.
I did. Okay, yeah, you're right. I will spend a hero point to reroll this out of pure fear. And here we go.
There we go.
22.
Yes.
Very least.
Faith,
There you
pixie
go.
dust.
Hylas, are you following after Aang?
I came this far. I think I have to.
Okay, go ahead, make me a stealth roll.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Initiative. That's not the right one.
Not yet.
Oh, it was right there. Come on, buddy.
14.
Look, at least he has a gun, okay?
Are you keeping a 14?
I think in a moment of solidarity, I may also use my hero point.
Okay.
We're so
you
scared,
have
Joe.
to.
We're
You
so
do have
scared.
If Kira uses
ahead.
it, I use it.
Appreciate you, Zell.
I used the initiative one again. Hang on. Yeah. You just re-roll it, right? It's not like...
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
a flat reroll. No, 22.
Twinsies!
Man, it'd be
Twinsies!
crazy if a 22 was a failure. Wouldn't it be crazy?
Joe,
God,
I
Joe.
swear to fucking God.
Whoa!
Joe,
No
I
way!
swear to God.
So, you guys creep even closer. You are going into the cave. I want to be clear. You're going into the cave.
Okay.
So, you creep into the cave. As you creep into the cave, you get another probably 20, maybe 15, 20 feet closer, inside the cave, there's more dirt. There's dirt along the walls and the ceiling, like it has been scraped off of something. And as you see kind of more clearly this shuffling shape, Aang and Hylas, you both can make this out without having to roll for it. There's a tree in here. Like a tree with branches and leaves, and there's a tree like wedged into some mountain of dirt that's piled in the back of the cave. And then as you're watching it, kind of shocked that there's just a green leafy branchy tree in here, it shuffles and the dirt pile moves just a little bit. Now, Hylas wouldn't know this, but Aang might know this. Aang, do you want to try and give me a forest lore roll?
Forest lore.
Lore?
I have knowledge nature, which I am now not as great at, but I do have Fey lore, and I will take that.
You can use that or nature, whichever one.
14 is not terrible.
That's not terrible. So what you do know is that this creature is big. It is big, and it has a tree on its back, ? And you can see it shuffling around like it's not quite comfortable. But you're trying to search your head for like creatures, because you would know if you've encountered a giant. And tell me, Aang, have you ever encountered a giant?
I don't think she's gone close to them. It feels like she would probably try to avoid them if possible. So she might have seen one and then went like, oh, guess I'm not going that way. Like, you know how in The Green Knight, Gawain sees the giants from like a cliffside or something? She's probably done that, but she's gotten no closer.
And so like, this creature is giant. It is a giant creature, but you're not sure if it's of giants. You can't quite tell, but you can see a tree's growing in its back, and it's kind of slumped over on its side. What do? You both see this tree pile. Well, not pile, but like a tree growing. Like, I should also clarify, this tree is kind of lurched sideways because it's not planted like in the ground of the cave. It's planted in the back of this creature. And this creature is on its side.
I feel like Aang would probably ask if it needs help or assistance, or if it means harm.
I will also tell you this for free, because you are a competent warrior, and Hylas, you are competent enough at being a warrior.
Thank you, Chef.
This creature, were it to be aggressive, you're not entirely sure how it would try to attack, because it's not facing you. It's facing away from you. And from the shuffling, it doesn't look like it has a lot of room to maneuver. This does not seem like a position it would be advantageous for it to fight in.
Yeah, presumably, we had the thought, how did it squeeze itself in there? So, how would it squeeze itself out, also? I have a question. Is this cave, our only means of progress?
No, the switchback continues on. This is just on the bend before the switchback. There is this cave. Or do you mean like this cave is the only means of progress forward to this creature?
No, I mean, a journey here.
Yeah, no, this cave is beside the main path to the journey. So you could totally just leave.
I think Hylas is looking into the cave. He looks at Aang, and then he looks over of the switchback. Even kind of full body leaning with that last gaze, as if to ask her, should we just keep going?
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea to head back. Because maybe Maddie knows what this thing is.
I have a very important retcon, by the way. Earlier, I said Hylas lifted his hat to tell Aang he was going to scout with her. That's not true. Abigail's still wearing it.
Important retcon.
Yes.
Yeah.
he motions as if he's lifting his hat, and that gets it.
He forgot.
All right. Let's head back.
Okay. You tiptoe back out of the cave and come back. Not but like 2 minutes later.
We relay our information to the rest of the party.
Now, Maddie, you being told that there is a big creature with a tree growing out of its back, you stand a good chance to know what this is because you have hunter training. So if you want to give me I don't know if you have it, but a nature check or hunter's lore check, which would be your proficiency plus your intelligence.
Yeah, I had a hunter's lore bonus. I know that, but I when I switched my sheets over, didn't change with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you just want to add it as a lore skill, you can just click add just plus lore and then type in hunter's lore.
Okay. And is that untrained?
It is trained.
Okay. 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 Let's roll. I don't think the odds are good. Yeah.
For the others in the party, Willow, you could ask Summer, and Paige, you could ask Mr. Talltail.
That, if no one knows what it is, she might.
Maddie, you are racking your brain. Giants, you know about them, but it doesn't immediately ring a bell. Willow, you call on Summer, and Summer pops up next to you and is reading from like I don't know. I guess an imaginary notebook. It's hard. It's weird to call it imaginary. It's very real to her, but she's flipping through a leather-bound book, like a notebook of hers, and she turns it to a page and then shows you a picture. And there is a picture of this gangly-looking creature that has a tree jutting through its stomach and coming out of its back. With crazed eyes and a big nose and sharp, kind of chunky, gnashing teeth. Have you seen the giants from Majora's Mask? Like the ones that are basically like basically a head with arms and legs.
No, but I'm getting the picture.
Yeah, you see a gangly looking creature like that, and the measurements beside it, this picture. It says like 40 to 60 feet.
And see, Willow is like listening, and as the description kind of ends, she very pointedly turns to look to her side rather than the general like incline of the head that she's been having to do. Just, well, you have any idea? And there's silence. She nods. Is there a name for this?
There is. It is a root troll.
Someone believes that it is some sort of troll, a root troll to be specific.
Maddie, this rings a bell for you. Root trolls. These are trolls that have been cursed. It's not something that like hunters know a great deal of like their origin, but hunters believe that these were trolls that were cursed by some sort of nature spirit to have a tree that grows from their midsection. The tree will grow until it consumes the entirety of the troll's body, at which point the troll will effectively be dead. Root trolls are typically in agonizing pain, and that typically makes them very ornery creatures.
Root troll, huh? I think Maddie wasn't able to pick up on the thought initially because she kept thinking trees on creatures and kept thinking about the spiders they fought at the beginning of the campaign. It's like, fuck those things, damn it. That freaking acid, she's mumbling to herself, whatever. But hearing Willow, she's like, I think it'd be best if we just try and pass by. We don't really want to get into a tussle with one of those things.
You knew about it then?
Kinda. They're cursed. As the name kind of says.
I will also clarify. Trolls are also intelligent creatures.
Yeah.
They can speak. They're not like barbaric animals.
Aang, hearing all this, has a sad look on her face. But should we not ease its suffering?
You shouldn't. It's a curse.
That's what Bleeding Fairy is. Cursed by a nature spirit or something. And I don't think there's really a way for us to help. It's
Yeah, we don't
They're
know that.
kind of
Start walking.
they're eternally in pain.
Be a swift death, not an end to their suffering.
Somebody's gotta
Well,
get
it looks
Willow.
like Willow already made up her mind.
Abigail is also following like hot on your heels, Willow, because she is curious as hell.
And if it's a curse, then curses theoretically are magic that can be broken or dealt with. And we
Well,
have 3 witches.
Here, like
So you
scratching the back of his head, like, oh, I hope this isn't a bad idea.
Oh, it definitely is.
Paige is just gonna rub her forehead. Just this is such a bad idea. This is such a bad idea. This is such a bad idea.
Come on,
I think
Paige.
Maddie will move up just before we get fully up here. It's like
You don't even
So
know what
just-
we're doing.
just making sure here. You all know how to lift curses. Then is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Hylas is staying so loudly quiet in this moment.
Loudly quiet.
Guys, so why is Maddie being the voice of reason here?
She's the. Oh my god.
His eyes are just darting back and forth. People in the party like, oh, we decided it's dangerous and we're still going? All right.
I mean,
Paige is
we
gonna
have to go this
pipe up.
direction anyway.
Not really.
Yes,
We can go past it.
Yeah, Paige is going to pipe up from the back and just like, Okay, so are you just going to go in there without a plan? You're just going to improvise something that you don't know it?
Well, you have some sort of healing magic. At least you being able to use your magic in such a way. Between Abigail and I, we both have some nature magic. Very least, we might be able to stop the growth or ease the suffering to some extent without killing it.
And
Oh god.
no, okay,
After you.
you good. Okay. And what if the troll is, not a good guy?
Then 'tis time we ease its suffering and also the words. Madigan, come thee upon a stag, its leg horrifically broken. Wouldst thou not put it out of its misery?
I get what you're saying, but we can avoid this. Don't we want to get Abigail out of here?
No.
Abigail speaks up.
Oh, go ahead.
Abigail speaks up and says, I want to try to help it. I don't want to just leave it here to suffer.
And compassion is a virtue.
And it's good practice.
Going to fucking die.
No, we won't. If it decides it wants to turn around and start killing us, well, and she just pats Maddie on the shoulder. We'll just make you large again.
Maddie. Maddie looks a little annoyed because, she did really like that. That was fun. But
And she knows she would like to fight a troll at troll size.
the thought does cross her mind. But she's also like, I'm trying to be the responsible one here. What the fuck? Trying to be a good hunter.
Oh my god.
So you want me to clean up your mess? Got it. Of course.
That's assuming there's going to be a mess. I will remind you, thus far, I have made friends with a lot of creatures. And she keeps walking.
Oh wait, why am I dying?
What? Why are you dying?
Why am I
No.
dying?
What?
I'm just dying.
Plus one?
She's blinded? She's asleep?
What's happening?
There you go.
There's still shit on her.
What's going on?
What are these
There you go.
words?
There's still shit on her.
You're fixed. It's fine.
Make sure you equip everything, because it looks like you dropped a lot.
Yes.
How?
Click on the item and click, put it in your hand. Click hand 1.
Where the... There's a hand.
The
Yeah,
little,
you equip it.
the little gray shirt at the end of the equipment stuff on your inventory tab. You change your carry type to 1.
Ah, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Hell.
So, the creature is going to, if you are signaling the creature, you can place yourself anywhere you like before this red line.
This is such a bad fucking idea.
But
Paige wants it on the record.
Willow's not stupid enough to walk directly into the cave. She wants to get She wants to get close enough for her to use detect magic first.
Would it be
Uh-huh.
possible, Joe, to stand
Yep.
here? Atop
Above the cave?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could clamber up and get on top of the cave.
Is Anne gonna hang down like a bat?
She's standing on it at an angle that gravity should not allow.
Understood.
Willow, you get close enough to detect magic on it. You can detect magic just traces of magic, nature magic, like natural woodland magic, all over the ground and all around the inside of the cave. The little patches of dirt on the ground here, each one of them has faint traces of magic to it. And it is the type of magic that is fertile, like promotes growth. Like it would be an excellent soil for potted plants.
Imagine she is kind of inspecting the soil a few times before she gets super close, and there's a little frown, and she will get close enough to get the sense. Is she close enough to try and get a detect magic on the creature itself, or does she have to be closer for that?
You have to be much closer because the creature is deep and recessed within the cave. But I will ask, since you are all moving up here, if you are all moving into position stealthily, I will need stealth rolls.
I mean, Willow's not, so.
I think Hylas naturally would
You guys,
be inclined.
you three
to.
right here,
Mm-hmm.
you guys don't have to unless you move up any more than you currently are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna park my ass here. He doesn't even want to be doing this.
What is it with me and the 5s on stealth?
Mm-hmm.
It be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just to clarify here, because I missed it. Willow detected growth magic?
Yes.
Yes.
Like fertile nature magic in the soil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I imagine she for an extra little thing would hold the soil up towards Abigail and see if Abigail could sense anything in it.
Abigail will hold her hands out and cup some soil, and she focuses on it, and you can see her concentrate, and you see a little hint of recognition in her eyes, and then that recognition turns into surprise as a little sprout comes out of the soil that she's holding, just a teeny little sprout, very Wally coated.
Aww.
But as you all walk up and get into positions here, your footsteps echo into the cave, and you hear a shuffling, and then a shake, and a rumble, and then you hear as branches start to snap and crack, and you hear breaking of branches as this thing is sliding out backwards. And it slides, and more dirt falls off of this mound. And it slides again. And you hear more branch cracks and more sloughs of dirt. And it slides again. And it closer and closer it gets, the bigger and bigger it seems to get in the cave. Until it slides all the way out. And it slides out back first. So it's basically its spine is facing you all. And you can see that its skin is a leathery gray texture. It has no hair, and there's very, very hard, dense muscle, heavy weighted muscle that is just old. You hear the crick of bones and popping of somebody just waking up in the morning and doing a full body stretch. You hear the kind of crunchy bone movement like that, and it slides all the way out and turns, and you hear it just kind of, and I will reveal its token.
Whoa.
That's a big guy.
Whoa, look at the nose.
It stands up. I told you it had a big nose.
I like this art a lot.
This is one of my favorite artists. Shout out to Charles Ferguson Avery. You're the realist. But this this thing stands up and just towers over all of you. It is massive. And the tree that is growing out of its backside is also quite massive. This tree juts out from its middle section, like its stomach, and it turns around to face you, and his eyes are like bleach white and kind of milky. The roots of this tree go and like poke straight through the belly of this creature and wrap around and go into and out of the arms of the creature and the legs and the chest and abdomen, like weaving in and out of it like its body is soil to it. But there's dirt and soil trapped underneath the side of the roots, kind of making this giant, like, it almost looks like it has like a fur pattern to it, because it's the grayish white skin with like soil smashed on its back. But as it stands up and its full height, you hear the bowing and bending of trees as they move a little bit on its back. And it just kind of looks around, and as it stands up and looks over all of you, you're not even sure it sees you. It looks past you for a second, and you hear it grumble. Just and it opens its mouth and it speaks in really long, drawn out words. It says, "Where is my sheep?" And it puts a hand over its eyes, like shielding it from the sunlight. What do you all do?
With a cursory glance, did it say sheep?
Yeah.
There's sheep around?
Yeah, with a cursory glance, I think Hylas looks left and right. Like,
sheep?
Okay, is there a sheep we missed?
There's no sheep. This is the side of a cliff. There ain't no sheep anywhere around here.
Could be mountain goats.
I think Wilbur also kind of glances around. There's a little frown. I think you may have wandered away from your herd.
He stops for a second. And he's looking, again, like above you, past you. And he hears your voice, Willow. And he tilts his head sideways and bends down. I can't hear you. And he bends, and you hear the popping of knees and joints as he gets real close to you, Willow. And he puts his, like, the side of his head. There's no ear hole. He just puts the side of his head, the smooth gray skin of his head with roots jutting out of it, close to where your face is. Just a few feet from your head, from you. And he's listening again.
I think there's enough like human instinct in Willow that there's like a half step back, but she steels herself and waits. When he stops moving, she'll repeat herself a little bit louder. Like, I think you may have wandered away from your herd. We've not seen any sheep. We did stop to see if you needed some help, though.
He grumbles to himself. And he turns around and he sees Maddie. And he turns around further and he looks up to Aang. And he does a full 360, just kind of looking around him. Just big lumbering steps, like...
Ducking under a tree.
Yes. There's little bits of branches and dirt that are just tumbling off of his back and falling onto the ground. And you can see now where all of the dirt patches are coming from. And the creature now, were you to detect magic on him here, the creature himself has very latent magic in him, but the magic is positively glowing on the soil and tree that is jutting out of his stomach. But as he does like a full 360, He stops and turns back to Maddie. You look like me. And he will reach a hand over to you, Maddie, to try and grab you.
No.
You look like what?
Sheep.
Sheep? Is it because she's fluffy?
Yep.
I am not your sheep.
Roll me an athletics check. As you have to beat an 18 because he wants to grab you and he has big old giant hands.
Okay. So if possible, I want to flavor it like this. If I pass, I just like her to like try and. I don't know if she could stop his hand herself, but maybe like use her hammer as a like nope.
Like a wedge?
like nope.
No.
Put it in the palm of his hand and guide his hand in a different direction.
yeah, that kind of thing. And
I feel like we walked into
it's an
a
athletics check, right?
fantasy nursing home.
Mhm.
Oh.
And I have to ask, Titan Wrestler does matter here, right?
It does matter. It does matter here. Because you are wrestling against a creature that is bigger than you. Perfect.
Perfect.
He reaches over and tries to grab you, and then his hand is the size of your torso, like his fingers extended, like from his index finger or from his middle finger to his thumb. The distance, if he were to stretch out that distance, would be taller than you. They would be above your head and past the length of your tail. But he is reaching that big ol' meat mitt out towards you, and you stick your hammer out to like wedge his hand so he doesn't grab you. And you can see him get a little confused as he just pushes harder, thinking he's like somehow not reaching you. And you all see as he's reaching towards Maddie's heels dig in and just slide against the concrete or the rock a little bit. And he's met with enough force that he thinks something is wrong. And so he pulls his hand away and then looks at his hand.
Willow
Not me.
will pipe up, not shouting, but bordering. No, she's somebody else that wants to help if we can.
Could Maddie do a little sniffy sniff, see if there's any sheep? I assume no, but she's gonna at least try.
No, but roll me a perception check anyway.
Okay.
With her sniffers?
With your sniffers.
Big sniff arms.
Oof.
Counterpoint.
Ooh.
Your point? Okay.
Anything's better, literally.
Literally.
20.
There we go. There we go.
So on a 20, you don't smell any sheep, like any fresh sheep smell, but you do smell a sheep scent or like something of like a barnyard animal scent. And the thing that strikes you about this, Maddie, is it's not that there's a sheep smell. It's that you've smelled this sheep before. A lamb, more specifically.
I had a feeling this is where it was going.
Do you remember where you smelled a lamb?
It was the when we went to the Fae, right? It was the offering.
Mm-hmm. But I believe, Willow, you were saying something?
She was just telling the troll that that's not a sheep. She's also trying to help.
The troll, like, turns around, and he looks like he's about to say something. He stops, he bends over in the middle, like clutches around his stomach, and just kind of grumbles to himself, like, "Oh." And then there's a low gurgling, like it's like a growl, but it sounds more like stone graveling and just like tumbling on itself. But he bends over a little bit, and you can see the soil and roots shift ever so slightly. Willow, you and Paige can tell that the tree on his back the magic is causing it to grow.
So, Paige, if you allow me, DM,
Uh-huh.
I want to slink away a little bit.
Okay.
She's like, okay, well, they seem to be handling it, sort of. Because, you know what? We're here, we're dealing with it. There's no fucking way we're gonna leave this guy now.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna try and ask Mr. Talltail, hey, the fuck do we do here?
You're asking Mr. Talltail?
Yeah,
How do you
slink
Yeah.
away.
how do you ask him?
Well, if she's learned anything about this guy is that he's a nosy bitch. So, yeah, she's gonna just slink away a little bit, just so she doesn't, like, I don't know, distract the others or something. Just step back a little bit, like, probably just speak up. Okay, Monsieur Talltail, I'm assuming you are watching whatever this is?
Yeah. You don't get a response immediately.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So she's like, okay, well, here goes the shot. Do you and you also, knowledge and experience have any idea on how to get rid of the tree? Or is it not something that you would know?
So, beside you, you feel a presence reveal itself.
Mm-hmm.
He is standing shoulder to shoulder with you, facing the same direction. And he is sucking on a sucker.
Mm-hmm. When's he gonna learn that snacks are gonna alert Maddie?
He's facing away from everyone. And he just casually just goes, fruit troll, huh? Yep. Nasty buggers. They can get real ornery in a pinch if you're not careful. As far as tree goes and, whole curse nonsense, I mean, you could try cutting it out. Not sure if that'll work. Might be more of a band-aid solution.
Would that kill him or?
He kind of thinks about this for a second. Might. Depends on how deep them roots go.
One look at this guy, I'm assuming.
Real deep.
Looks back, Mr. Talltail. I don't think that is possible.
Mm-hmm. Got yourself a real pickle here. Why do you want to help this guy?
Paige shrugs. It seems to be what the others want to do, so...
He strokes his chin. I'm not the most proficient with magic. I have my tricks and my quirks that I know of. But I assume there's some kind of magic fiddly-doo you could pull off where you could stop the tree from growing. That'd probably work a little bit. Doesn't leave him with a big old hole from a dead tree, and it keeps the tree from growing and making his life worse.
Is more of a keep it from getting worse and make it better, yeah?
Keep it from getting worse, making it better. Could be the same thing.
Do you have any tips on how to go about doing that?
He looks around on the ground, and he'll reach down and scoop up a little bit of soil from between the rocks. He rubs it between two fingers,
Gross.
sniffs it.
Gross.
This is some powerful working is what this is. If I had to guess, he closes one eye, and he will lick the finger that he rubbed the dirt on. And you see him kind of like make a gross face. He's like, yeah, you need some little bit of cult magic here.
And
Different flavors of magic.
Literal flavors?
He shrugs and just goes, I'm sure you probably noticed by now how magic comes in different flavors, so to speak.
And it cult magic tastes like this?
This, and he rubs his fingers and shows you, this is primal magic. Natural stuff of the earth. You need some occult magic to deal with it. Which he does a little eye movement, not an eye roll, but he looks one way and then looks the other and then looks at you. I think you have. He winks.
So I have to get involved. Okay. So I need different kind of the magics to counter the primal one. What do I just make fucking sparkles? Like what?
I mean, look at my little workbook here. I could probably dig up a ritual of some kind for you. If then you're willing to pay me something.
Do you want?
He narrows his eyes and looks down his nose at you a little bit. What do you got? What are you willing to trade for a little ritual to help your friends here?
She thinks for a second. And she doesn't really have a lot she can trade. I don't think nothing that he would be interested in, that she would be willing to give, is the problem.
Think about it.
Yeah, she'll think about it. Well, yeah.
Yes. He is a man of futures as well. So if you can think of something you could to get in the future, you can bargain with that.
Mm-hmm.
But for the rest of y'all, Willow, you had something?
So I found it in looking at some Pathfinder 2e things.
Uh-huh.
And because Willow's not really been able to learn spells like a witch usually does, because of the setup of the campaign. So I was going to propose as a kind of one-off thing. It would be kind of homebrewy, which would be the issue here. But
Uh-huh.
there is a primal feat or something like that based off of a lineage. She doesn't have.
Uh-huh.
That's called decompose. Here, I can send it to you.
I'm curious.
We can turn that into a spell that, I mean, logically she would, like, Summer might be able to do.
Uh-huh.
Weird. Okay. Put it in the Willow chat.
Decompose.
And it specifically targets plants and foliage.
Uh-huh. Okay. I think having as a one-off using this with like a spell slot would be fair. I can get behind this idea. This would kill the tree. Or at least greatly impact the tree.
So, like, if the troll at all seems to be willing to allow her to try something, I imagine she would, like, talk to Summer for a second and then, like, also, like, go to Abigail and say, okay, I need you to, like, focus this specific way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe between the two of us we can stop the growth.
Okay. So if you roll me a diplomacy check, because the troll is currently like reeling from pain from the tree.
Not as good at that.
17. That's good. Was a 17, like you get close to this creature, and it is like it's a big imposing creature, and it's in pain. Like even though it has intelligence, it is like liable to swing if it's like just pent up in a way. But you cautiously approach. How do you like reach out to the creature?
Like, Willow will very deliberately, like, move into his line of sight, wherever it might be. Like, both hands open and kind of spread, like, so she does not have anything in her hands. A few of us happen to know magic. We might be able to stop the tree from growing and hurting you anymore. We would need you to bend down a little bit more, though.
He's currently holding over his stomach and like and he looks at you with one big saucer plate eye, and he will shift a little bit, and you hear a as he lands both of his knees onto the mountainside, and will hunch over so that he looks like, you know when you ball up in the fetal position with your head down? He kind of balls up like that, and the tree sticks straight up, like it's just growing out of the soil. And you can pretty much reach it. It's quite high, because he even balled up and as close to the ground as he can get. He is still quite big, but you can reach it well enough.
I imagine she like sees that she can reach it, looks over to Maddie, looks at Abigail. Oh, you wanted to help, right?
She like snaps out of it for a second, just kind of filled with wonder at seeing such a giant creature, and she just goes, yeah.
Willow will motion for her to come closer and look over to Maddie. If she needs help, can you pick her up?
I think Iris is.
Or is he not back yet?
I actually just got back, so it worked out.
Oh, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, I got it.
Pick up Abigail so she can reach. Because I'm assuming she is much shorter than Willow.
She's quite short.
I think Maddie gives a little bit of a wide wrap around before she gets to Abigail.
You get a little like, ugh, as she kind of awkwardly holds herself up.
Just place your hands on the tree, and that little taste of magic you felt in the soil that you grasped onto and it started to grow. Pull it instead.
Okay. She will attempt to try.
Willow is also hands on the tree trying the same thing.
So I will let you choose. You can spend a spell slot and cast it once yourself, and you can let Abigail roll to see if she successfully tames her magic. Or if you spend 2 spell slots, one for you and one for her, she will automatically succeed.
If I spend 2, can it be of 2 different ranks so that it's not both my top ones?
Yes, it doesn't have to. You can spend them of the same rank or 2 different ranks. However many spell slots, whichever ones you want to spend.
Okay, she'll spend 2. I got 2.
Mm-hmm. Then both you and Abigail place your hands on different parts of the tree, different parts of the roots, and you both pump a little bit of magic into it, and you see the roots shrivel just a little bit, and then they start to pull back and recede, and it starts pretty slow at first, but the roots start to shrivel quite fast, and the energy, the void that you sent in through and into and throughout the tree starts to take root very quickly, pun intended. And it is racing up the bark of the tree and throughout the other branches, and the whole tree starts to shrivel in and down, just poisoned from within and now dying and rotting out from within it. As it is rotting out, the roots that recede leave little holes, which start to dribble blood.
Paige, we need your help.
Nurse stat.
Yeah. Imagine she was caught in this conversation. She hears that, her head snaps, and I'm assuming she sees that they're doing shit.
Yes. You see one of the trees out of the back of this creature start to shrivel up very quickly. And Mr. Talltails is like a little frustrated that the deal got interrupted because he always wants to get something.
Uh-huh. Never mind.
I love this dude getting clowned on.
Running back. It's like, oh shit.
Unfortunately, I don't know any type of healing magic.
Okay, I'm sure this will be fine. It is just, a creature I've never used magic on before. It is fine.
So these roots are receding quite quickly, and each new root that dies leaves 2 holes, one where it exited and one where it entered. And Paige, I want you can heal however much you want to heal.
Mm-hmm.
But you tell me how do you want to use magical healing or do you want to use medicine? Or both? You can use both if you want. Just at different times.
Probably both. A mixture of both.
Okay.
Probably magic on the probably where the biggest root is that got uprooted, where it's like bleeding the heaviest. She would use magic to seal that. And all the smaller ones that don't look as concerning, that's like, okay, breaking out the bandages.
Mm-hmm. So you all 3, Abigail, Willow, 4 of you, Madigan too. Madigan, Paige, Willow, and Abigail all get splatterings of blood on them. And the blood from this creature is like a dark red. It is much darker than human blood. It is like a very, very earthy, sanguine color. And it comes out in like just hefty gouts of blood.
Ooh.
And it's splashing all over your feet and onto your pant legs and onto your sleeves. but you are bandaging it as quickly as you can. And the biggest, most problematic part comes when the center of the tree dies, and you can see that as the root dies in its back, the creature like exhales from relief, and then it starts to like wince, and then that root, the root that the tree is spawning from, turns like a deep sanguine red as it bleeds through the tree, and blood starts gushing from an open wound in the chest. But you pour magic into it, and roll me the healing that you do.
We're gonna hit him with a soothe. It's my chunkiest heal. I don't have my webcam and my dice set up, so we're just going with this.
That is okay.
Boom. Now, does this, like, how effective is this?
With 8 healing, it seals the wound mostly closed.
Okay.
But there's like, imagine a basketball net over a wound. It is like stitching together, but it's not perfectly sealed.
Okay. She's gonna plop a Hymn of Healing on it too.
Okay.
That's gonna be 16.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
So how Hymn of Healing is?
It's fast healing. Fast healing yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So you've fast healing the creature, which he gets fast healing for a minute?
No, it's sustained up to 4 rounds.
Sustained up to 4 rounds.
But
okay.
It's 4 at the start of his turn, so it's 4 times 4.
Gotcha. 16 total. I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So between that and Soothe, you seal the biggest wound shut. There is a big bruise starting to form there. And you can see that the other wounds are just springing leaks like pulling a finger from a dam. And the creature is like shuddering and shivering as the trees on its back start to die. And as they die completely and fall out, leaves and branches scatter all to the wind and just kind of fall off, and like big waves of like dead tree life just scattering all over the ground. The creature reaches back and will grab the desiccated trunk out of its back, and you can see him like reaching where he used to feel a tree trunk. He now feels just a little like dead sapling, and he grabs it and pulls, which creates it creates a big nasty squelching noise as he yanks the sapling out of his back entirely. And you can see all of the tension in his body like seize up for a second and then go soft as he relaxes. And he has this like balloon shaped wooden sapling. It looks like a what are the fucking things from Zelda? It looks like the little tree people. I can't remember what they're called.
Wait,
yeah, the Koros. Korok.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks like a big like a bulbous Korok that he just like yanks out of his back and sets on the ground, and it is covered in viscera with little pointed sharp roots jutting from it in every direction. And he is like gasping, panting and heaving and like exhausted. And let me go ahead and deal damage here, because he took quite a bit of damage, but you did heal him.
Yeah, imagine as soon as he like reached back, like Willow stumbled back and away, and Maddie probably also took Abigail with her. Like
holding Abigail
out of the range of the hand as it's moving.
Oh god, Paige has to duck somehow.
Maddie has 2 arms. Drag. Shove. Shoulder check.
Hylas did come up behind you, so he could yoink.
Oh, Hylas, please. Please yoink.
You guys are all mostly out of the splash zone. You are at least out of the way of his hand moving. But the splash happens, and it is this entire mountaintop area, this entire little splash of cave next to the switchback you were on, has now become like a gore-soaked cave with not a lick of combat taking place. And this creature like shivers and shudders and starts scraping dirt off of its back, and the dirt just flops off, now mixing with the blood and just making this gross naturey slurry. And he looks up and he looks at you, all the four of you who are nearest to him, Willow, Abigail, Madigan, and Paige, and he doesn't say anything because he's panting, but he looks at you with like big, like softly glowing, kind of white, milky puppy dog eyes.
Oh.
We'll give him a second. And I imagine is also like in vain, kind of wiping off a little bit of blood off of like her sleeves and skirt. And finally looks up to him and tilts her head. I ventured. I think that might feel a little bit better.
He nods up and down and just goes, mm-hmm. And he looks at his cave and then takes one little, like, gentle scrabble towards the cave and will curl up and start to reinsert himself into the cave to sleep.
Needs a big nap.
Just looks towards Maddie and gestures. See? It all worked out.
How did you guys even do that?
Abigail's a quick learner.
Abigail standing there with, like, bloody hands and bloody trousers and just wipes her hair out of her face a little bit. It smears blood on her face, just goes, Did we save a cursed creature? Is that what we did?
Or at least gave him some more time. We'll kneel, like crouch down to examine the sapling that remains.
Sapling, when you examine it, there's rotting void energy that is like pulsing in it. The sapling is still holding on to life, determined to live, driven to dig and plant itself, but it is greatly impeded and it's shriveled up into this state to keep itself alive, to sustain itself.
Does it, if she examines it and kind of pokes at it with magic, does it feel acidic, or is it just a magic tree?
Just a magic tree. A tree that, like, it is more alive than the average tree in that it has a little bit of magic bolstering its existence. But it is not a parasite.
Willow will dig into the bag of holding and thus into her alchemy set. She has to have some tongs somewhere.
Yeah. Salad tongs.
Oh, pick it up with some tongs and find a piece of dirt for it.
Are you taking some of the magic dirt?
Sure.
Okay.
Plant it in some dirt.
Why are you trying to revive it when you just basically tried to kill it?
Well, I was not going to be killing anybody in dirt.
That you know.
Yeah, I mean, I could just put it in the bag and see what happens later. Just turns towards Maddie and, like, starts opening the bag of holding.
It just leave it.
No, that would be a waste.
I'm going to give you a hero point for the very creative suggestion of use of magic spells for you accessing a feat effectively.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Clap, clap, clap.
Yay!
Thank you for letting me.
Mm-hmm. Also, you know what? It's also fair. I will give you a hero point for planting the tree. Nothing has to die today. Not today, Rose.
Well,
She will also take a little bit of the leftover dirt and put it in a vial and stick that in her bag.
Gotcha.
good job, Jay. Yeah.
I liked that solution. Good teamwork.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what's happening.
Presto everything.
Yes. People first. One by one, everyone is going to get wiped down with the magic handkerchief. But Angharad, please come back.
Yeah. Aang, you can come down.
Aang. I know
Aang
you
is
like it up there, but
well, she's actually not been having a good time up there this whole time. She will keep to herself for a little bit. But she looks like she has a lot on her mind.
Oh.
Willow will just finish planting the tree, kind of wipe her hands off, and looks to the group. I imagine at that point is when Paige works her way around to try and clean Willow off. And she just kind of gestures around. Oh, the wonders that 3 magic users can manage.
Yes. It is very good.
I didn't know that she could heal something quite that large. I mean, I hoped, but...
Abigail puts her finger on her chin and just goes, "Are we a coven?"
Oh.
Willow kind of tilts her head. I don't know that there's any specific definition to a coven, but I suppose if we're... in a way, we could be.
That depends on if we want to keep using the witch as a level.
Do you have some other idea?
Anything else, really? Anything else, really?
That is a little bit of an antiquated term. But
Well,
all in all, it does seem to work in our favor when we combine our skills.
it's a nod.
Abigail will hug you, Willow.
Oh,
Like, she just,
Aw.
like, seems a little bit pent up and then just goes and hugs you. Thank you for showing me how to use my powers.
Willow is a little surprised, but then kind of pats her on the back. Oh, no problem. Of course, I wouldn't advise doing that particular little bit of magic ever again, not unless it's absolutely necessary. Not, the nicest thing. Might be in your favor to have Paige teach you how to heal a little bit as recompense.
I wonder if I can do that. Can you show me how? And she looks over to you, Paige.
And Paige is kind of looking around, starting to like step away, but gets pulled back in. looks at Abigail, a little startled. Sure, I could try to, if you want to learn that.
She nods, like, very enthusiastically.
Then probably later. Then it is probably more important for you to learn how to do the nature stuff with Willow, though. So whenever you have time.
I don't recall it less important. Number of times you've saved the various ones of us.
She a little nod. It's like, yeah, it is useful in a pinch. After she is, she did do Willow last because Willow was gonna go rooting around and shit. He's like, okay, so one last little swipey, all clean now. Gonna put the handkerchief back in her sleeve. Another nod.
That is also a very useful little spell. Imagine it would have been lectured by my mother, far less if I had it.
Little wave of the hands, little sparkles. It's just a little trick. It is a small thing.
Pierre smiles awkwardly, just like, yes, magic, ha.
Gonna. It's like, okay, I am going to check on something. You don't go back in the mess.
Oh, considering another pile of blood and dirt.
Not really necessary, man. If you get dirty again, I'm not cleaning you. Is it effortless? Yes. It's a principle of it. But I have concerns, though, or Paige has concerns. About an Aang who has not rejoined.
She's looking very emo in a tree.
I feel like Paige just can sense the emo-ness. She's like, okay. Concern.
If you're watching, she's actually touching the cross she was given.
If it's alright, Paige would like to go find Aang after she cleans up everybody.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like, ah, yes. Pierre's like, ah, yes, magic. Haha, so great. She's like, yeah, ha ha ha. I'm gonna step away now.
Aang's not too far from the party. She's still within, like, eye distance, you know. She hasn't wandered off, and she's keeping herself, visible if you look. And she is up in a tree, staring at, I imagine, where the mess was, and touching the cross she was given. And she's actually doing so with her bare hand.
I was going to ask, the metal cross?
The metal cross.
Oh. Paige, you can hear the slight tss.
Looks over to Maddie, watching the giant in the cave. Okay. Looks like this is on me. I think I understand Karen very well. She doesn't know that though. She doesn't know that. She does not know how well Paige understands her. How far from the tree is she?
Not super high, because she does want to be visible, and she's trying to be like, it's high enough that she has like a small measure of privacy, but not so high that people can't get to her.
Thinking, can Paige climb?
I won't
I
make
don't
you
know
roll
if she has
for
the
it.
upper body
Has to.
strength.
Wait, what'd you
She's
say?
short.
She's
Okay.
short.
Okay.
You know what? You're right, actually.
I have been climbing things since I was a child. Yes.
I know you short motherfuckers climb everything.
Yeah, that's true. All right. She looks at the tree. She's like, okay, well, easy enough, I guess. Looks down at her dress and her gloves. Motherfucker. Okay, here we go. Gonna climb up the tree. I feel like all she's thinking about as she climbs this tree is, I hope to God no one's looking at me climbing this tree. I don't do this normally. I don't want them to think that I do this on the regular. I don't. I swear I don't.
Tempted to say there's probably somebody who
God
would have
fucking
noticed you walk
damn
away.
it. Hylas has such a weird image of Paige in his mind, doesn't he?
I feel like Hylas has like T-Rex vision too, where it's like, oh, there's motion. Wait.
Why is she? She
What's
likes
going on
touching
over
stuff.
there?
She likes climbing. Okay. God damn it.
Little- Pays attention.
Oh, God damn it. I feel like she feels eyes in the back of her fucking neck, and she's like, I fucking hope it's not who I think it is.
He's not staring too long. He just kind of like, he does a glance like, oh, wait. Like, Paige isn't here. And then he does a double take.
New information added. Okay. Well. Top hat pops onto the branch that Aang is on.
I love that as panel 1 of a comic.
Yeah.
Panel 2, like panel 1 is her sitting there like morosely or whatever, and then panel 2 you just see the pink top hat.
Top hat appears. Next panel, eyes. Just gonna scramble onto the branch, holding onto it because she's not proficient in climbing.
I think it isn't until Aang hears the creak that she's like, oh, wait, shit, what? She was very lost in her thought, and when she hears the creak, she reaches out and offers the, the haft? No, I don't know if that's the right word. The wooden part of her scythe to help.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's an additional thing to climb her onto.
Thank you. Situate herself as neatly and politely as she can, sitting in a fucking tree. Okay, hello, I'm alright.
And kind of tilts her head, and she's still like lightly touching, but her hand falls, and she looks over to Paige and to the mess of blood and mud that's still kind of there. I imagine they didn't get all of it.
Probably not
Yeah.
all of it, just mostly off
No.
of themselves, right?
Mhm.
Mostly off of themselves and where they're gonna walk, pretty much. Not all of it.
Hmm.
I mean, there's going to be some sick foliage here in a couple of years.
Oh yeah.
And she smiles softly, although it's a bit of a sad smile.
was a goodly thing thou didst do for the creature.
Yes, it is a good thing that we did. So why are you so sad about it?
'Tis not the mending that saddens me. 'Tis that there needed to be mending. And 'tis what I have done to the mended.
Paige. Is Aang sitting or like standing?
She's sitting. She's like leaning with her back against the trunk of the tree, I imagine.
Okay. Oh, Paige is gonna scooch for a little bit. It's like, are you talking about the curse, or is that he got injured in the first place from removing it?
No. 'Tis not the curse.
There's a long pause.
'Twas I who took the sheep.
She blinks. And you're upset that you took his ship?
And with its made offering to my mother, in fervent hope that it might win the favor for, well, all of the...
She looks down.
He shall ne'er glimpse it again.
Paige is gonna hold out her hand, kind of gesturing for Aang's hand.
Aang seems a little confused, but she reaches out with her ungloved hand.
Paige is gonna pull out a little strip of bandage, and just gonna absentmindedly start like winding it around the thingy. Do you think that you're responsible for anything, or is it just that he was sad he didn't have the ship anymore?
To know that I took from such a creature likely his greatest joy, or one of the only ones afforded to him yet. Is that not a tragedy? To be in such pain, day after day, to long for something so simple as a sheep, and to have it taken from thee. And all for something that was lost.
Paige lets out a hum as she finishes bandaging up little burns on the fingies, tying off each one with like a little bow.
I imagine Aang wiggles her fingers a little bit as that's done.
And Joe and Kira, I have
Yes.
a question.
Mhm.
So, Paige's whole psychic thing is kind of based off of her getting blurst with extreme empathy.
Uh-huh.
Can she hold Aang's hand, and could she toggle that to kind of feel what she's feeling?
Huh. It's a creative use of power. I think I would leave it up to Kira whether or not you want to have a role for it or whether or not you think it would even work.
I mean, I think it's cool. I want to encourage it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, go for it. If you want, you can roll for like degree of success. I won't roll like a counter roll or anything, but we can see like how good she does at it. But you'll get something at least for sure, unless you roll a 1. Don't roll a 1.
Haha. Okay.
No pressure.
No pressure.
So roll like a spell attack roll.
Spell. Where the fuck?
Huh. Yeah,
If you-
my internet stays up.
No.
Cross your fingies. If you
Cross
look
your
next to your spell DC, you'll see a bonus to a die.
Ah, I see. Thank you.
There you go. That guy.
That guy. Okay. Thingies crossed.
A 10.
A
You get-
10.
That's about half of
I rolled a
20.
I rolled a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Just
But it's half of
Bruh.
20. So you'll get, I'll roll, you'll get, like, about half of it.
Can
How's
I?
that?
You know what? I'm gonna use a hero point on this.
Okay.
I have it.
You know what? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
The greatest use of hero points is friendship, I'm told.
Okay.
The magic is in the gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Trading card game. There you
16.
go, 16. Alright, that's pretty good. So you get most of it then. Aang is feeling a lot of very deep-seated guilt on several different levels here. She feels a deep empathy for a lot of forest creatures. She feels closer to them than she does to humans sometimes, and she's had less problems with them, so it's easier for her to relate to them. And so it's very easy for her to imagine what it's like to be hungry. Or, well, for her, it would be when she's very, very hungry. It's pain that comes over her, right? So she's imagining herself in that situation where she is hungry and sad and miserable and alone, and the one thing she has to look forward to is taken from her.
Mm-hmm.
There's that, and then there's this notion that she was the one who did that to this guy, and she's wrong for having done so. And part of her is wondering how she could possibly make it up to him, or if it's even worth it to try, if going in there and apologizing would make matters a lot worse and possibly anger him to the point of attack. She doesn't
Mhm.
want to cause any more hurt that way. But there's also a deep the deeper thing is this notion when the queen gave her the cross of remembering where she came from, how she was made, and how she has in some ways turned her back on all of that by hanging out around humans so much, and by doing things for their benefit. And she did something that hurt this guy, or at least emotionally, took away something that he really, really treasured. And in the end, it didn't make that much of a difference. She didn't need to have done that. And
Mm-hmm.
she's locked out now from this place that was her second home, that was beautiful and kind and open to her. And she's locked out of that forever now. And so she's feeling the contrast and the conflict between the Fae sides of her and the human sides of her very, very intensely right now. Not that she is human, but she likes to LARP as one, and sometimes that comes with its own problems.
Mm-hmm.
You eat people food too much, you get sick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
she's very, very sad right now. Forlorn, even.
Okay. Imagine as Paige, after she finishes bandaging the little burn marks, squeezes Aang's hand, and there's just warmth in Paige's hand. And Paige takes a deep breath in, lets it out slowly, and I imagine she has to like blink a couple of times. Of like, ah, yes, the urge to cry. I see. Gonna blink that away. She's gonna turn to Herod. Uncle Ed, you do know that you can't change the past, right? It is something that has happened, and you can't take it back. You can't change it. And I know that you feel so sorry for what you did, but you should focus on the other stuff that you did. If you didn't get ahead with Eilish, then he would still be suffering from the tree, and between you and me, I think that having a tree inside of you growing and going to kill you is a lot worse than losing a ship. It is normal to feel sorry for what you did, but you did a really good thing. And even if you did do a bad thing, I think that's outweighs it, no? By a lot.
I didn't catch the even if you did do a bad thing. After
I feel
that.
like that outweighs it by a lot.
And there's a moment of quiet as Aang considers the words and takes them in. I think that she will also lightly squeeze Paige's hand, and with the other, she dabs at her eyes a little bit.
Handkerchief.
Handkerchief accepted. Handkerchief returned very daintily.
No. Flick. Clean with sparkles. Put back.
Yes, the past is the past. The seasons always shall change. The leaves shall always fall from the tree. But May comes spring, shall renewed color. Tis kind of thee to comfort me, and thou hast wise counsel provided.
There's a little squeeze of hand before she lets it go. And she shrugs. It is the least I can do. I know how it's sad you can be, so I thought I would check.
There is a moment where Aang looks over the rest of the party, and there's a wistfulness that comes over her.
Most of my life has been spent in a forlorn sort of darkness, but thy presence and the flux have gladdened my heart. And 'tis a great wish of mine that one day thou shalt not know me for my sadness, but for my joy.
There's a little nod from Paige. And she kind of breaks eye contact. Yeah, hopefully that's they will come soon, no? Yes, I mean.
Aang nods. Well, 'tis already a gladder day, thanks to thee. She looks to Paige and will reach out to pat head.
Aang's pretty sad right now.
It's okay if you don't want to let her have it. That's also fine.
No, Paige will let her have it. Because Aang's real sad right now.
You can have a hero point for letting Aang have it.
Very few people can pat her head.
It's a very soft, gentle pat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the not affectionate cat, just like, oh, you're sad. I guess I will allow the single hug. Now let's go.
Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, well, I mean, it's not like I styled my hair to perfectly come out from the hat and not mess my bangs up, but here we go.
I imagine that Aang's touch is very light, and if anything, she's fixing her hair.
Okay. Mage tips her hat slightly, back into the correct orientation. It's like, okay. So, you are okay? Yes? I will be?
And we'll start to put her glove back on. Yes, I think I shall be.
And, try not to, do that too much.
Tilt of head.
Fingies.
Rise of the brow. Yes, sorry. I should refrain from such matters, yes. Even if 'tis important to remember, other ways there are.
She nods. You don't have to always go put yourself through pain, you know?
There's a lot of things about Catholicism I want to say.
Oh boy. You're talking to the anti-Catholicism person.
I know. She's not going to. But it's a core part of her philosophy.
It'd be real funny.
It's you don't always have to subject yourself to pain was the last thing said, right?
Yeah.
She will take a moment to consider it and then look around and lay her hand on the bark. 'Tis not the way of the forest. That indeed hath merit.
Paige. She's gonna shift a little bit and start repositioning herself to start climbing down.
Shall I assist thee?
No, I should be okay. And she's gonna lower herself. Second to last panel of the comic. Paige's head above the branch as she looks up at it.
Aang will provide again the shaft of the scythe,
You'll
which
take
has
it.
handholds, so
Yes.
you can get down.
Gets down, ready to climb back down. I do mean to stop with hurting yourself, you know? You've already been through a lot of pain. I don't think you need any more.
There's a moment where she looks at you, Paige, and there's a curiosity there. Just a slight flash of the gold in her eyes, which still looks mostly human. You know, the sclera are visible today. And there's a moment where it seems she might say something, but her brows just sort of narrow a little bit, and then she nods. Too much pain, indeed.
Nod.
May it be that thou never knowest the depths of it, nor its like. 'Twould ill suit thee.
Ha.
How's those fluff checks feeling? Those deception checks.
Joe?
Yeah.
Do I need to roll deception? Because Paige does, in fact, know a lot.
It depends on your response whether or not you roll deception.
She is trying to make it seem like, yeah, I don't know, when she does very intimately know. Anyway, climb back down the tree. Time to escape. So she's trying to bluff it, like, oh yeah, no, of course I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just a little magician.
I'm just a little guy.
I'm just a little Frenchie. Don't mind me climbing down the tree.
I don't know nothing about no crucifixions.
Don't know nothing about that.
If you don't respond at all, you don't have to make a deception check. You can just kind of like nod your head and it's like,
Is Paige capable of not responding? I don't think she is. She always makes some noise.
We were on red.
And I feel like Paige is like, hopefully. Yeah, just gonna leave it at that. Just hopefully. Go on, climb down.
roll me a deception check.
Okie doke. Yep.
20. So you are trying to beat Angharad's passive perception.
Okay. What have we got here? My passive perception is, I think, lower than that. Where is it listed?
It's 10 plus your perception bonus.
Oh, 15. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully we'll never, find out. Hopefully, climb down the tree. Goodbye, Angharad. Have fun up there. You'll come down on your own time. And that's Paige done. It's like, okay. Checked on that. Cleaned up everyone. Check. He's not dead. Check. No one's dying. Check. Aang is as fine as she's gonna get. Check.
She does seem better. Like, she does seem way more at peace now.
Okay. Good. Paige checklist done. Can we fucking leave? It's fucking gross.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's just a bow table joke. I'm like, okay, cool.
Was there any last thing anyone wanted to do before you head out? Any other scenes? No? Then
talking at Abby. That's about it.
Abby has been like glowing through the process of like she is completely unbothered by the gore. She is so excited about the first time her magic has done good. since she's had it, since she's been aware that she's had it. The first tangible good thing she was able to do with it. It did almost kill someone, but thankfully there was another cool magician here who helped.
I love her so much.
Yeah, it worked out. It's fine.
She is positively bouncing up and down with like
Aww.
excitement about it.
To be
Oh.
fair, even if he had died from bleeding out, I feel like that would have been a faster and somehow more comfortable death than being grown to death.
Yes,
Tree.
the tree growing inside of your body is the worst. It's not great.
Mm-hmm.
You were just fortunate enough that this was the one root troll that was not currently suffering from the growth pain the moment you met it when it woke up. But you all head back onto the trail and hike the rest of the way down the switchback. Hours go by. It's a long hike. But you have helped a root troll and done a good deed for the day. So you hike down the rest of the switchback unperturbed. Not because you helped the root troll, but maybe a little bit because you helped the root troll. It's hard to say. You feel like it's because you helped the root troll. But you make it into the bottom of this little valley area at the edge of the cliff. Finally, or at the bottom of the cliff. And you continue hiking through the woodland. And as you hike, you see many of the things that you've seen before. The like tall trees, actually, I have a thing for this. The trees down in this area are quite dense. The light pokes through the fog that has settled in the valley. I'm going to see if I can get this to load. Let me see. Here's hoping. I really want it to work. While that's loading, you continue hiking, and let me go see because you rolled a 41. I don't need to remember what that is.
Ooh, this is pretty, Joe.
Isn't it? Yeah.
This is so cool.
Still loading for me.
Oh,
Give it a
that seems
second.
familiar.
Oh.
Yeah. You get to walk through the woods, and the tree is like poking through the fog, and it makes it kind of eerie, but also like kind of ethereally beautiful. As you are walking through the woods here, well, I gotta get my creepy walking music again. There we go. As you are walking through the woods, Aang, are you scouting ahead from the party now? It's are you just scouting ahead in general? Is that what you're planning on doing?
If the party is in exploration mode, Aang is in scout mode.
Gotcha.
You
Okay.
will not take that from me.
So, as you are scouting ahead, you roll me your perception check first.
Okay.
So on a 20,
What do my elf eyes see?
your fey eyes, you see at first you see a rustling bush, which normally gives you that's not something you would heed, but because it is in your path, you pause for a moment. The bush shakes a little bit, and then out from the bush jumps a rabbit. A small little wild hare. Or not hare, but a small little wild rabbit. But it looks unusual. It's perfectly brown with mottled gray splotches on it, in that wild rabbit-y kind of coat pattern. But as it turns its head sideways, you see that the eyes are bright white. They have a little glow to them.
Do I Phalor at this? Can I Phalor at this?
You can. On a 14. Do you remember way back when I gave you some lore, some lore for Aang that Aang would know about that not many other people would know about as a result of her being in the woods for a long time?
Oh, I have to pull up the pinned message.
Uh-huh.
Let me go do that. Oh.
Maddie,
Oh.
if you eat this
I
fucking
see.
rabbit.
I see. I understand now. Okay. All right. Cool. I think Aang spots this thing and will gesture for the party to stop immediately. I think that she will set the scythe down, hands empty, hand economy in shambles, and bow toward the creature. And ask it, "'Tis a great blessing to see thee. May I ask if there is anything I can do to assist thee?"
And you say this like you've gestured for the party to stop. Everyone else, you see Aang beseeching a rabbit. With unusual white eyes, but a rabbit.
Let's be real here, it's not the strangest thing we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a rabbit
This
with a
is
little
almost
unicorn
like
horn.
normal.
Yeah. Is this more or less normal than the rabbit with the little unicorn horn?
Less.
Less normal? Okay, to someone who doesn't know what it is it more or less normal?
Less.
Okay.
But I know what it is, so. To you, to the untrained eye, it is an unusual looking rabbit because it has bright white eyes. Like rabbits are, they have black beady little rodent eyes, and the eyes for this thing are very much not that color. It just kind of looks at you, paused, unafraid. Unlike a normal rabbit, it does not scurry away. It just regards you. Do the rest of you do anything as Aang beseeches it?
Really excited that there was going to be something. Less enthused now.
That's just a rabbit?
Yep. Hands on hips. I was just waiting. Okay, Aang's gonna turn around at some point. When she does, she will explain, but right now she's talking, apparently.
Cue in silent fawning.
I think.
Oh,
yeah.
go ahead first. You first.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Aang has taken the initiative in, I think, directing how this interaction is gonna go. So she kind of goes all formal, and I don't think Hylas wants to stick out too much, but he doesn't want to, I don't know, fuck up her vibe, so he just like straightens his back and waits on her.
Perfect.
Aang, why are you bowing at dinner?
Don't you fucking say that!
The look on Aang's face when Maddie says dinner, and she just turns, and Maddie, she's never looked at you like this, but it's Hawkeye's this time. I meant that in the sense of the bird without realizing the overlap there, but this is very like. She just turns and she fixes Madigan with the look. And if you had a last name, Maddie, it's about to be called.
I know you meant it as the bird, but I also imagine the parenting, the look of an upset parent. So she kind of like doesn't jump back, but it's like, oh fuck, what did I do?
And then Aang immediately turns back to the rabbit and then bows her head.
Please forgive my family. They are not so well acquainted with thee and mean thee no harm.
The rabbit stands up on its haunches and sniffs the air a little bit, then plops back down. And then it turns. Rabbits, their eyes are on the side of their head.
Yes.
So when I say it turns to face you, Madigan, its nose is pointed at you. But you can't really see its eyes as well. You can kind of see them bulging out from the sides of its head, but it points its nose at you.
I don't like that.
And the ears like flick backwards and forwards. And then it stands up on its haunches again. And then it turns and jumps into the bushes. And it runs away.
Willow waits precisely 15 seconds and then looks towards Aang.
Aang is pinching her nose. She is pinching her nose, head in hand. She's so frustrated right now, and she's usually very patient.
The most human Aang has looked in all of her mannerisms.
Can we get some sort of explanation?
Aang nods.
That was a child of a very old god.
Pierre holds up his hand and goes, like a deity?
Aang nods.
It is considered a blessing most great to encounter one.
Oh, shit!
Woo!
Woo!
It was almost a 2.
Maddie's quiet.
A nat 20 to shut up.
You're hearing this from Aang, and you hear very familiar, angry French. Going on and on and on.
Paige.
Good thing Maddie doesn't know French.
It's a good thing she doesn't.
Paige, you're being very distracting.
Madigan.
Oh, God.
No, okay. Did you just
After you.
both hands gesture to Madigan? Like, did you not fucking hear her?
She continues. Willow will just start to like blindly reach out towards Paige's face with the intent of covering her mouth. Still watching.
Sorry,
Aang,
the call
like,
cut out.
I need more.
What happened?
I need more explanation, woman.
Oh dear.
Sorry, Paige. Azelle?
What's
I
up,
guess
Zal?
the call is still cutting out. Oh no.
Oh, we can
no.
hear you.
Rip.
Well,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Discord one.
Did we lose Zal?
Oh no.
They'll know.
Everything's silent.
Oh no.
No!
Rip. Rip, 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 rip. Zal, come back to us! Zal, if you can
You're
hear
wait.
us, give us a sign!
Hey, you came back.
Hey!
Hey.
And they say spirit box is hard to get.
Oh, you guys pulled out the spirit box for me.
Yes, we did. Fuck.
And
what's happening?
Egg is still pinching her nose, still head in her hand.
Madigan, dear heart, thou knowest well the depths of my love and affection for thee.
Both
no.
Abigail and Pierre mutter under their breath, oh no.
Hylas just fully has his head tilted in this moment.
Abigail hides underneath Hylas's hat.
One more is good.
I really wanted a 4.
Same.
Low key, I
I
kinda
was
wanted a
expecting
4.
1.
Yeah. Sorry. She doesn't know what she's apologizing for at all.
Sorry. Yes, indeed. Sorry.
Still pinched.
Madigan,
Yeah.
I would, if I were thee, a goodly offering make it to the forest. Post haste.
It's a little too much fun.
Oh god, I saw the 2. I was so scared.
Freaking pats herself like, oh, rabbit
Pierre
jerky?
will,
She pulls
Pierre
out
will-
her
Pierre will slide you some rations, like dried nuts rations.
I imagine she pulls out, she doesn't say rabbit jerky, but she pulls out the rabbit jerky.
More jerky. Oh god, it's all jerky.
It's all jerky, give it!
We'll just hold up a hand, like in the kind of like pause gesture. I think we might still need a little bit more context, Angerod. You said this is a deity of some sort. Is Maddie likely to get cursed for saying it's food?
Well, it is difficult to say in particular. Yet, for this deity to have shown their face to us is a great blessing, and I fear that to have referred to it as a dinner is a horrific insult. And I must needs impress upon thee the age of this god and its many searching eyes. That was only one of its forms, and there are many.
Okay. Fine. I'll fix this. Can Maddie try to pick up its scent? Try.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Sure.
Okay.
You can pick up the scent of wild rabbit.
Okay. Cool. I'll be right back. She's gonna chase after it.
Madigan!
Can Paige yoink Maddie back?
Do you like by force, or do you have a magic spell?
The friend fetch.
Friend fetch? Yeah. Does it require a save?
Because it has to be a friendly or like a willing creature, isn't it?
Each target. Yes, willing creature. Shit. Leash doesn't work.
Leash like spools up, and then they just dissipate back into the hat or your sleeve.
Maddie
I
disappears
think-
into bushes. Aang disappears into bushes after her. Willow just like hands thrown and this like, well, that's that. Okay.
I think Maddie, maybe, I don't know, just got the vibe that she's gonna get yoinked at some point. She's like, look, I'm gonna fix this, I swear! Promise!
I promise.
So she's gonna try to as quickly find a place where the scent is stronger, essentially.
Okay.
I love this
So-
above table. Egg is so concerned.
Is
I'll
Aang chasing
fix
her or is
it.
Aang staying with the rest of the group?
Egg is chasing her because she is worried that something terrible is going to happen to Maddie.
Well, it can't keep up with them.
Nope.
Literally can't.
How long have we been traveling?
A day.
Hours now. Like the full amount of time you guys have traveled has been about, well, you guys got up around 8 and packed up and went. So you've been traveling for about 5 hours.
What time of day is it now?
3 o'clock.
It is, yeah, it's 3 o'clock.
The little time thing.
Okay. Oh, sorry. It just looks like nighttime on the vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think Hylas puts his hands on his hips and just goes, well, damn.
Paige is
Should
going
we
to
set up?
No, we'll just keep going in the direction we are meant to. They will find us.
So,
Thumbs up.
Maddie, you dart off after this rabbit. And as you dart off after it, you run through a couple of chunks of underbrush until you get to a site that you weren't expecting as you were following after this rabbit. You come upon a well.
Maddie will slow her pace a bit and look around the well. Inspect it.
It is a normal looking well, but as you are inspecting it, you can note something very interesting about it. This well, it does have the little like wooden spool thing, you know, where the bucket is and the rope. And in fact, the bucket and rope are descending all the way down into the darkness of the well. The stonework of the well itself is smooth and featureless.
How far down can she see through the well? Is there ceiling on end?
Not that you can see. But as you are looking into the well, you can hear the grunts of effort of something. Like something's climbing up the rope of the well.
Does it sound humanoid?
As far as you can tell, it does sound like humanoid grunting of effort.
Hello? You need some help down there?
So, in the deep darkness of this well, far below the point at which you can see Madigan, because I believe you have dark vision out to 30 or 60 feet, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think it's 60.
Out beneath, past the edge of your dark vision, in this well, your voice carries all the way down, and on that rope, currently climbing that rope, there is a person. Charlie, what do you do when you hear this offer for help as you are climbing up through this, what you don't know is a well yet?
You motherfucker.
Oh.
Hey now.
Whoa. Hey?
Whoa?
Charlie told lies to me earlier today. They told me porky pies.
Okay, listen.
Huh?
Huh?
Maddie is going to hear cursing
In French?
in French. Her voice catches him off guard, and I think he lets go of the rope just a second before catching back onto it. Christ, I hope that's you, Madigan. A little help, please. Bit strained down here.
Does she recognize his voice?
No.
Does Maddie look worried or concerned?
Confused. Very
Right around-
confused.
Right around this point, Madigan, you would burst through the underbrush. Or not Madigan, sorry. Ang, you would burst through the underbrush to get next to Maddie.
And she didn't hear the exchange, right?
Correct.
Okay. And she looks around and then looks at Maddie, sees her confused in front of the well. Madigan hasn't spoke to thee again.
I don't know. Hang on. Let me just. She starts pulling at the rope to try and help whoever this is up.
We do not upon strange wells make wishes, Madigan.
I'm not making a wish. Someone's down there, and they know me.
Aang tilts her head, approaches well, and looks down.
You look down and into the darkness. You see the vague outline of a person dangling on this rope. But they get closer and closer as Madigan helps reel them in.
All right, Mr. God, I think the moment that we see Angharad, Michonne is letting go of the rope. With a yelp.
You emerge from the darkness a little bit more in earnest, and you see Angharad more in true from the outline of her from silhouetted with the light behind her, and you recognize that shape. You recognize that shape. You could recognize that shape from a mile away at this point. And then you yelp, and you feel the rope go slack, Maddie.
Maddie will not full on dive, but do the grab, reach arm kind of thing. Maybe wrap her leg around the pulley part. I got you.
As Maddie dives, Aang will drop Scythe and try to hold Maddie, not holding her back, just supporting her. Like the points of contact.
With great effort, you are able to pull this. I imagine you are tangled in the ropes down there, not able to completely just fall to your death because the well is only so big, and you can actually press your back and heels to it if you wanted to. But if you'd like to describe your character as you are pulled up and out of the well.
Well, you see before you a bruised man, dark brown hair that looks like it's recently been roughly chopped with a dagger or some such. Hazel eyes, tired but so brilliant that they almost seem gold. Dirt sticks to his skin where sweat has dried, and his attire has seen far better days. Torn at the side of his torso, and tattered threads hang off the coat where seams have ripped. Depending on where you grab him, you might notice it quickly, but he wears an engagement ring. And it looks to have been maintained until fairly recently. And when he looks to you, there's not really the look of someone in fear of strangers, but he seems familiar.
What do you do as you see this strange man emerge from a well with a vague sense of familiarity about him?
Mind telling me what you're doing out here, down there, And how do I know you?
I want to take a moment to just examine himself, look himself over, make sure the ring's still there. Well, I'm making it out with my life, it seems. I don't think you actually know me, but I guess you could say I'm familiar with you. Well, most of you?
The rest of you were following, correct?
No.
We were
No.
going on the original intended path, and we agreed they'll catch up.
They'll catch up? Okay.
Because we aren't
They
gonna
know
fucking catch them and like want them. It's the stupid thing to wander off the path in the woods.
Not gonna be
It's the
us.
stupid thing.
Are you from Termarkt? She's like actively trying to place this person. Like, I don't know, like in the movies where you see someone standing there and everything's buzzing around them and like fast forward kind of thing. That's Maddie's brain right now.
And Aang looks between the two of them and looks to Maddie. Be this one of the boys you spoke of? Thou spokest of. Sorry.
No.
Studies this man, very curious. Art thou a friend of Alexandria's, perhaps?
The missus, no, God, no.
Got a problem?
Yeah, I feel like you both go like,
arms crossed.
Yeah, no offense. Yeah, your Ark is kind of scary. I don't think I've met a lady that intense since I guess my mother-in-law. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm from Termarkt. Busybody.
So how did you get down there again? You run from something?
Mr. God, if I may. I don't know Maddie well, but I get that she kind of has that shade dress scent thing going on for her.
Yeah, more or less.
Maddie would smell Angharad on him.
Oh, that's true. You're right. You get the scent. You get it's identical. It's identical to Aang. You smell like the scent that this person has been around Aang before. Recently, in fact.
Aang would be the strongest, but most everyone is there.
Mm-hmm. I always forget that Maddie has, like, heightened nose, and it works this way.
And I try to use it, like, every session.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, remember the peanuts, Joe.
I forget that it works that it works the way it do, but yeah, you would absolutely, you get the scent of Willow, Paige, Aang, Abigail.
Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know if this would factor in, but there was that, it's the ability to sense shapeshifters or something along those lines.
Uh-huh.
Was Maddie's a little confused and a little suspicious, smelling Aang and the others, knowing very clearly where Aang and the others have been the past couple weeks. Yeah, I don't. I guess. Let me see. I can use a perception check, or it's a secret perception check, for you to realize if the creature is transformed.
Oh, you can go ahead and roll your perception check.
Yeah.
Best you can tell, there does not appear to be any hidden transformed creature masquerading itself.
Okay. I think she actually was very obvious and like leaned in a little closer, took a whiff. Like she did. I feel like she instinctually tries to smell things and to get a sense of what's around her. But smelling everyone else, she's like, the fuck? And she full on leans in and sniffs like.
Every time you do this.
What do you mean every time?
Just get it over with.
Madigan, do not harry the man.
He smells like you.
There's a pause, and Aang's brows rise in surprise, and she's not often shocked.
Me? Never have
And everyone else.
Never have I laid eyes upon this man prior to this moment.
Okay. Let's start over. What's your name?
My name is Bellamy Michon Montagna. You can call me Michon.
And how exactly do you know any of us? Why do you smell like all of us?
I've traveled with you. Well, last time, not you, but everyone else, yes. I don't know how to explain it. This is the third, fourth time. Variations, but it's always you.
Thou speakest in manner most queer.
You don't want to talk.
Aang will pause.
And yet I speak only truth. So how is it that thou hast come to know us?
Michonne will open his mouth and struggles trying to find any other explanation. But he just repeats what he said.
Wait. So you've met us separate.
And Alexandria, it seems.
Really only once before.
Okay. You're coming with us. Grabs arm.
Let's take you to the Brainiac.
Yep. Yep. And you know what's really interesting? This sounds really suspicious, like something we encountered recently. Yep. Dragging. Okay, we gotta find everyone else.
It doesn't take you long. You catch them up on further a bit on the trail, but they were walking, whereas you guys are probably huffing it a lot faster. It's like also dragging this new guy.
I think also when Maddie gets a stronger whiff of the group, she's just going to full on yell, "Willow! Stop what you're doing! I need you!" We've got a problem.
Willow?
I imagine Willow. If who is she targeting with this? Pierre. Pierre's getting talked at.
Like, do you think I'm a good listener?
Not anything super technical or anything. It's just oh, this was a new plant. I've not seen this type of plant growing in this area. You'd think it would be somewhere else. Just little bush or something.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the shout. Kind of frowns, looks around, and looks back to everybody else. You all heard that too, right?
Yes, that sounded like a Madigan.
Okay, I'm not going crazy yet. Willow will kind of look in the vague direction that she heard the shout, or she thinks she heard the shout. Doesn't see a Maddie yet, because that's when Maddie smells her, which is further than Willow can see. And she'll just kind of keep watching in that direction, but she keeps walking. We have places to be, man.
I love Willow so much.
Maybe set up camp or rest. It's important. As she can kind of sense the smell going away. It's like, come on, really?
I swear to God, if she kills the fucking rabbits.
And if she kills the rabbits, then I won't stop you from whatever you decide to do to her.
So many things.
Hylas is already setting his things down, and he just goes, "Oh, it's like I was right." Ugh.
As you are setting some things down, Hylas, Abigail wanders over to you and politely takes off your hat from her head and kind of hand wrings it a little bit and goes, I probably should have given this back a while ago, huh? And she awkwardly hands you the hat.
I think he's kind of kneeling down, preparing to set up the camp. And I think he gets a little bit of a jump start when she starts speaking. I'm not sure he... Yeah, I think he just kind of quickly glances at her. He tenses up a bit, and he just goes, sure.
She gives you a look. It's hard to read, but she gives you a look, and she just nods once, and will quickly hurry off to go back to Willow's side.
That look is hard to read. He feels
I'm not going to describe it any more than that. That's about as much as Hylas gets from it.
And you're right, Joe. You are so right about that. I think as she walks off, he sort of adjusts his hat, and watches her go. And he just sort of like furrows his brow a bit before resuming the camp setup prep.
Mm-hmm.
Willow finds a tree stump, sits on the tree stump, just kind of like crosses one leg over the other, waiting for whatever is about to come barreling out of the bushes.
Out of the bushes barrels 1 Madigan, 2 Angred, 3 Strange Man.
So much confusion.
The party grows.
Willow just kind of like blinks. It's like they're not covered in blood. They have all their limbs. They have a new person. Looks at Maddie. So I'm supposing you did not kill the rabbit god.
What? No!
Egg
That's
looks
not
aghast
important.
at the suggestion.
That's not important right now.
It's very important.
Willow, this guy says he knows us. That he's met other us. Slight shove. Because, like, I imagine Maddie was holding his arm kind of thing and like a, come on, we're moving.
I'm
You're not
sorry.
under arrest, but you're under arrest.
Yeah.
Looks between each one of the party. Were you on a hunt to kill something?
Madigan spotted what she thought was a rabbit and spoke to it in a manner most harsh. We were seeking to, soothe it when we came upon the...
Adjusting glasses. I think Willow is staring at this person.
And Michonne is inching away from Maddie and Angharad. Just to be clear, you aren't hunting to eat.
Does he say that to Egg?
I feel like there is a little bit of a shy look to Aang, yes.
Egg looks confused and a little sad. No. No.
I wasn't even hunting the thing. I just wanted to apologize. But then I found you.
Okay.
Is this man at all familiar?
Any familiar?
No. You've
None
never seen this
familiar?
man before. You've never seen this man before in your life.
Left
Though
me?
you can, I imagine that Willow and Paige could probably place the clothing as being vaguely tear mark in terms of its fashion. The
Mhm.
aesthetic of the clothing is tear marked, but that is about as far as you can pull it.
Detect
Hmm.
magic.
There is magic falling off of this guy in chunks. Just sloughs of magic dripping from him.
Sorry, I need a bath.
The eyes
But-
narrow a little bit. That-
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe there's any other magic than that. You don't have any inherent magic. It's just the environment you were coming from was magical.
Environment, and I think maybe a little love.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's true. You would
Magic?
you would sense that there is a magic item in their possession, but besides that item and the magic that is slowly dissipating from them, there's no inherent magic inside of this person. This person is not magical and does not have magical talent.
Paige is gonna catch Willow's eye, and there's just a slight quirk of the eyebrow. Because I imagine Paige was kind of like slumped on like a little like wooden stump, like arms crossed, just like, chilling. Maddie, Aang, and a new person comes into camp. She immediately straightens. And she's like, okay. Looking to Willow. Small quirk of eyebrow? What are we doing here? What's the vibe?
Willow just shakes her head slightly and will stand up and, without even asking, step closer and then lean in, inspecting very closely.
The magic that is coming from them, that is like oozing off of them, is very familiar to you, Willow. At least it's becoming more and more familiar, which I don't know how you want to feel about, but it is the weird type of magic. And being this close to it and being like scanning for it, so to speak, even just the act of doing that stirs odd somewhere deep inside your brain. You feel odd turnover.
Willow just kind of tilts her head and reaches out, and I imagine, for everybody else it looks like she's just kind of hovering her fingers an inch or two off of Michonne's shoulder. It is Michonne, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But in reality she's poking at a remnant of magic. You came from the tunnels.
Yeah. Somehow I always end up there.
Always.
Always.
You've been there multiple times?
A few handful. While he's answering your questions, he is looking around, trying to count heads.
As you are looking around, Michonne, you see over Willow's shoulder, past Paige, past Pierre, out on the outskirts of where this camp is going to be set up, you see a white rabbit emerge from a bush with glowing white eyes. And beside it, the same white rabbit emerge beside it. A perfect copy of it. And they both turn and sit up on their haunches and look at you, pointing their noses at you. And they both jump down and dash into the bushes.
We'll straighten up just a little bit and kind of examine, more fully examine Michonne's face. Well, it seems like you're going to have quite a lot to explain. Let's sit down. I think some tea is in order.
Michonne scrunches up his nose. I don't suppose you have any wine instead.
Tea or water?
I'll
Maddie.
take the water.
Maddie was instinctively going for her bag. It's like, oh.
This is a break. This is not camping. Tea or water? Willow wants to progress a little further into the woods before we camp for the night.
Willow is always thirsty for progress, and I love that about her.
If I might interject, it might be a good place to pause because I know Charlie has a bedtime.
They do have bedtime.
Do we want to pause here so that we can have the round of questioning and cat traveling tomorrow?
Start of interrogation tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or next session, I should say.
Yes, no?
So,
Yeah, I'm
Works for
done.
me. I imagine Paige and Pierre, once they hear the man talk, are like, "Oh my God, he's French. We adopt him and trust him implicitly."
One of us. One of us.
One of us. One of us.
I feel like Michonne asks for wine, and Willow says no, and Paige is like, "He gets it. He gets it."
He fucking gets it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for
Do I have
being
a
here,
question?
liar.
I have question. Oh?
You ask your question first.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm asking for chart reasons. Are you mainstaying or are you guest star?
What a coincidence. That's also what I was going to ask.
I think we were leaning mainstay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm just gonna hit save on this real quick.
So, thank you for watching, Jedi. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you,
Jedi.
Jedi. Number one fan.
Stay safe. Make good choices.
Jedi.